Hello and welcome back to LBG Reviews. Please be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to keep this video short because my throat's a little scratchy. It's that time of year when sinuses start draining because of the cold. So I'm not having the most fun right now, but I still of course want to make videos for you guys. So today we'll be talking about Strange Seed. Strange Seed is a game where you play as a little blob who goes around and eats various other creatures, and as you do so, you obtain parts of them that you can use to modify your own abilities. As you play, you unlock various abilities such as climbing, gliding, flying, and like various attacks such as biting, kicking, slashing with claws, farting, throwing poo, or no, cut that one out, CJ, because of YouTube restrictions. You also gain things such as like there's various abilities and stat increases you can get. There's also things called scale points that you can unlock that allow you to grow or shrink various body parts, which will adjust certain stats based off of if you grow them or shrink them. There's a lot of customization, a lot of versatility in there that I really enjoy. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has died off, leaving behind mutants and other creatures that have been modified by humans for various purposes. And that's, so I actually have a slightly new format I want to try for the next few videos. So that's the synopsis of the game, right? Now, I want to talk about some of the good things I really enjoy about the game, some of the bad things I don't enjoy as much, and some of the things that just leave me scratching my head. So starting off with the good, it's a little bit of a nostalgia talking, but when I was a kid, I used to play Spore a lot with my brother. We would customize bizarre creatures, try to make them look as bizarre as possible, see how they walked, see how they interacted with the world, see how they did as you played through the game. And that was a lot of fun. Not many games have tried to achieve character customization quite to that degree. Yeah, you have a lot of different sliders nowadays to make humans look really cool, really highly detailed. Like certain games allow you to go super in depth with it. But not many games are like allow you to be like, you know what? I only want my character to have one eye. I only want my character to. I want their arms to be up on their head and their ears is where their nipples should be. And Strange Seed doesn't quite fulfill that same area. In Strange Seed, there are 7 body part types: head, neck, arms, legs, torso, tail, and wings. You are able to pick out from a wide selection of various parts of each of those categories. However, their placement is rather static. Arms will always go on the upper half of the torso, legs will always go on the bottom half of the torso, tail will always go towards the back, head will always go on the front, wings on the back of the torso. Like, it is very static in some ways, but also the creativity with being able to grow and shrink the various parts as you need to is really fun. The game is all about exploration, unlocking new parts and new creatures for you to transform into, and then as you progress, eventually reaching a point where you gain access to old human facilities where you can learn more of the lore, gain access to new parts to basically make yourself less animal and more robotic if you want to. and just the entire goal is exploration at this point, and I have a lot of fun with that. The game has some goofy writing. The ways that the various stats impact each other feels both fair but also fairly realistic in a lot of cases. Like, if you weigh a lot, even if you have wings and have a bunch of stat increases towards jumping up high, because you weigh a lot, you're not going to actually jump that high. It's just that you'll be having a small jump because you weigh a lot. Now, onto the bad. So, this isn't necessarily a bad overall, like, just it's from my personal opinion. The game is a lot harder than you would initially anticipate. It doesn't give you a lot of stats about, like, how fast you, like, basically, like, the frames afterward that you can attack. Like, if you use a bite attack, you are stuck in place for a few seconds while that animation finishes. There is later on an ability you can get called Fast Bite, where although it doesn't do as much, or it does less damage, but it attacks faster, allowing you to get away quicker. But the game is overall just very challenging in that way. Like, I spent several hours ramming myself into a boss fight, trying to figure out what combination would work, and it can get very, very frustrating. In terms of accessibility settings, there are none. And as with basically because of the difficulty issues that I mentioned, that makes this game fairly inaccessible for somebody who enjoys the concept but doesn't enjoy challenging games. This game lacks a lot of accessibility features that would have made it really fun to dive into. And so, with that, I think I'm going to call it. As you can probably hear, my voice is starting to get a little more hoarse, a little more scratchy. I'm going to go drink some water and probably lay down in a little bit. See you guys next week. Bye.